Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to install the Discover scripts. These are used for recon, passive recon or active recon. I'll run a couple of examples and I'll let you do the rest of the discovery about everything else that you can do with this. So to start with, fire up your Kali. Now remember, you don't necessarily need to use Kali for this. You can use any Unix or Linux. It does not Some of the components do not work well with the Mac OS, so I would suggest staying away from the Mac for this. We'll use Kali for now. So the first thing you do is, of course, your app update. You make sure that your system is up to date. And once that is done, make sure you remember to clean up your system. Because as we keep doing these updates, there are old packages that stay over there and clutter the system. So you do want to clean them up. And once that is done, change directory to /opt. Don't have to do it this way. This is the way I like to do it. And clone the repository for Discover into your OPT or wherever you choose. I'm going to resize my terminal because for some of the activity we'll need a bigger window. Now that we've done that, change directory to Discover. And in there you will find two scripts that are of interest to us. One is the update.sh and the other is discover.sh. Alright, so let us do this. Update does the full install of the Discover scripts, and this can run for a while. So let's see how long it takes. So over here you're setting up your And while we're running this, just a thought over here, I have tried to work with this using the Ubuntu subsystem on Windows. It seems to work, but there are some components that just don't install. Once I get those sorted out, I'll put up a video on how to do this on a Windows system as well. As you can see, it's installing a whole bunch of tools, and some of these tools have dependencies that don't work as well or don't install on some of the operating systems, and that's where we run into trouble. Discover is a whole package unit of multiple tools scripted to work together, orchestrated. Having said that, therefore, all of those pieces need to be able to work. So since this was written with Debian and Kali in mind, those are the places where you'll get the most success. If you want to make it work on other systems, there is an amount of work that you will have to do to make it happen. So now that's done, and it took about 6 minutes on this system, which is not bad. I've had to run it for longer on some systems. Now, so we are done with the install, and now if you're back in there, you can run we will do a domain recon. We will do a passive recon, and I will do it for the university that we are all working affiliated to. We do not have a Salesforce list to import. If you did, it can also look at connections and links and how they interact. But let's see what this comes back with. Of the 28 steps that it's doing, we have so far got to Metasploit. Most of these are fairly self-explanatory, and when you see the results of the scan, you will understand. You'll get an idea about what all it's doing in there. And no, URL crazy did not have anything to do with my dogs going crazy. The puppies just saw a squirrel. Sometimes some of these steps do take a while, so you have to be patient. It's validating all the stuff that it found, and it is looking for other details that it can glean. So here is the summary of the results. And when you want to finish this report, you can do data domain assets images. This is located at, let's take a look. So what did they ask us to replace? Images logo.png. So let's do that. Now let's go back to I don't like to overwrite, I like to preserve. For this is just a habit. How you want to do it is a choice you'll make. Now, where did we save that file? This was in home pictures. So CP. Alright, so now let's go back to what we found over here. And let's do a quick refresh. There you go. Next, let's see what they found in context. Here's a list of emails that it found. Alright, what did it find in names? Names of people. What did it find in DNS config? It can do DNS maps. And by the way, that's not the only map. Here's a more detailed map that it did. It can do DNS records list. It can give you a list of registered domains against that email, subdomains that it found. What are the list of subdomains? This is of interest again because for a hacker, he has more spaces that they can try to play with. Think about zone transfers, where all it allows zone transfers from, what kind of zone transfers, what can I do? All right. Then, in terms of the domain, what are the hosts in this domain? Did Netcraft find anything? Well, Netcraft actually, we need to find an alternate. Now, here is a very interesting list for the business, which is mistypes, type differently, anybody who's squatting on the domain, anybody who's trying to use a misdirect to get people who are looking for Harrisburg U. How often have you not mistyped the spelling the first time you tried, or even the second and third time you tried in your URL bar? So they can use this to direct people to alternate spaces. So there is this. All right. Here's your WHOIS information for our IPs. Now this is of also interest. They didn't find any Excel files, but they found a lot of PDF files. Now why is this of importance? Because I know where to find that PDF file. You could take a look at this. Now if you're trying to do a good social engineering attack, think about this. You're a student applying. I want your information. Well, if I can mess this up, if I can replace this PDF with a doctored PDF that would run an executable with a payload on your system, you trust Harrisburg U and you will look at that. As long as you don't see any other signs and your AV does not capture or indicate that you got some payload in that PDF, we're good to go. So we will look at how to create those kind of PDFs, but now you know what to attack. You need to attack this TLD, the global.harrisburg.edu. You need to look for a way to replace this file, which is something you can plan for now. So we're doing recon over here, guys. We're not doing the actual attack, but we're finding ways to attack. So, and this is a good one. The other is, here are PPTs. If somebody were to download them, it's much easier to drop payload into PowerPoint than it is into a PDF. So, as well as Word documents. So we've got this. Let's look at our report. Here is a full report of everything that I found. No load balancing, no web app firewall present, nothing from WhatWeb. So, a quick introduction to what you can do with the Discover tools. I hope you enjoy this. Play with it. Make sure you're using it for the right reasons. Don't misuse this. You can get into a lot of trouble, including and not limited to incarceration, heavy fines, or never being allowed to touch a computer ever again. Be careful. But here is a good tool that you can use to do some interesting recon.